Hey everyone, we're going to be playing around with this a little bit. I am inspired by something that someone posted in the group. My hair is all crappy and wet, but we're here live. As always, if you guys want to hop into the chat, this is being streamed on the YouTube in our free Facebook community, and it is also being streamed on YouTube. If you guys aren't a part of YouTube yet, I suggest you check it out. YouTube.com/Savvy Groomer. And if you're on YouTube, check out my free Facebook community, Savvy Pet Pros. So, I'm going to be, whenever I feel inspired, I think I'm just going to hop on. And then obviously, if you're in the group, we encourage you to come on and talk. If you're not, that's cool too. So let me just pull up my screenshot. So I'm not going to call anyone out. Hey, Erin, great to see you here live. I just love when you guys share. And so I want to make sure that when you guys do share that I'm able to talk. So this was a comment in the Savvy Pet Pro group. And I just want to talk about a little bit. So this was hopefully, there we go. Now you can see it. So I did not ask permission, so I did not put the person's name. If they're here live, they are more than welcome to add in some feedback. So the question was, is it common for people to not ask about pricing when they book? I have quite a few people that go to my website, book, and never ask for pricing. So far, when I let them know their dog is done and their total, no one has said anything. Knock on wood, ha ha ha. So this is a super common question that I get either in group mentoring or I get, during the virtual happy hours, which by the way, are generally the last Friday of the month, unless if there's 5, and then I take the 5th one off. But anyway, so what's awesome about this comment is it brings up a lot of questions, right? Do you have your pricing on your website? Is your soulmate client the kind of client that your pricing is your least interesting thing, right? Our goal for our soulmate clients really should be, are there the least interesting thing about you is your pricing. And if that's the case, you've sold them on so much more. And sometimes we get nervous, right? So if you're going to a nicer restaurant, they often don't have prices with the food, right? So if you've ever gone to like a nice restaurant and you look at the menu, right? If you're like me and you grew up kind of, I don't want to say poor, let's say lower middle class, we didn't have a pool. We just put a tarp in the back of my dad's truck, So the first thing I look at is the price. And I think that it's really interesting that as I've gotten more financially abundant, I don't focus so much at the price, right? Same thing when I'm having a cocktail. Like I know I want a French 75. I know I want, something yummy. And I don't care if it's $3, $10. And in where I live, sometimes it's up to $20 for a drink. So it really comes down to a few factors. One, is your pricing on your website and they already know what it's going to be, right? Or they have kind of an ish, right? Is it a situation where your client, your soulmate client, and these might be your soulmate clients, don't care about price? It's the least interesting thing about you. So they don't really care. And then another question I have for you is, why are you caring? Are you trying to avoid conflict? Are you afraid that someone's going to give you a bad review? What is the question that you're having in your mind, right? Especially with the knock on wood comment. Whenever we say that, it's, generally something that we're afraid something's going to happen. So if this person was like, I'm really afraid of conflict, then I might ask the question when they're booking. If my pricing's on the website, I would say something like, hey, if you're curious about, the general pricing, all pets are, priced individually based on their time, care, and attention. But if you're looking for, a general estimate, I would go ahead and look at my website, and I used to do that all the time. I did not want to have the price phone conversation. So I would tell them that all my pricing is on my website. And that, obviously until we see the pet, Another thing is to have a consultation groom that is a set flat fee. That is the highest fee. And you can always say that, this is our consultation. And then if you want to give a discount, you can always give a discount or give them money towards a second appointment. But I don't think it's a bad idea to just simply ask, would you like an estimate? Right. And that gives you the opportunity, right, to open that door right? If you're, and again, or you can put on when they're having this conversation, you can just have on the rebooking or the appointment reminder, you can just say estimates available upon request, right? Again, it really depends upon how you price. If you're pricing, we highly suggest here at the Savvy Groomer that you really don't have more than about 9 price points, right? So you have 3 main services, right? So 3 main services and then 3 price points for those services. So Emily D, thank you for being here live. I miss you, girly. She's saying, hey, I hate having the over the phone conversation. We sent an onboarding email with an estimate of a 3 to 4 week or a 5 to 6 week services. So I will say Emily is one of my students, and I know she's done a lot of work on this. So I will say if you're fresh and new to Savvy Groomer, you might be like, oh man, that's pretty ballsy. But Emily has done the work. She's made sure our pricing is accordingly. We've really simplified her pricing. And I think this is a great strategy. I love that she's doing this because it will help where she is, right? And one pricing strategy, and again, we teach you a bunch of different pricing strategies in the Price Increase Masterclass. One of these strategies really is that, charging more per weeks, right? So there's so many factors that go into this, but I kind of wanted to give a little blurb. And if those of you guys in our group mentoring, if we want to have a bigger conversation on this, just let me know. We can have a bigger conversation about this on Monday, and we can get really down deep into the nitty gritty. Oh, girly, I missed you so much. So she's saying the issue I run into is puppy pricing. I just like charging adult prices for a nice puppy, face, feet, Sammy. So Emily, I think that's a great conversation that we can have in group mentoring where we can really go deep dive into the nitty gritty of how to actually create that, because I can take your pricing structure and we can really break down how we're going to be able to do that. And I think that's a great conversation, right? Is, what are we doing when it comes to puppy pricing? I think that's a really fun conversation that we can definitely go deeper into, because that's a very nuanced conversation, right? There's so much involved in that, like your business model. Are you training the puppy to be behaving on the table? How often are you requiring puppies to come in? What is a puppy? What is a face, feet, Stanny? There's so much around that. But I did want to come on really quick. I'm trying to do everything under 10 minutes. So I've got like 50 seconds left. But I wanted to be able to talk really quick about this because I thought this was a really common question that we have, right? So those are the strategies I have for you guys. And, you're welcome to post comments below. If you want to go deeper dive, you can definitely go do that over at group mentoring, or if you have more questions, you can always reach me on Friday, this Friday coming, nope, not Friday, Monday next week. We are doing a virtual happy hour, and you can always check to see when we're doing a virtual happy hour. It'll be listed on our social media. Yep. So Facebook user said price quote is given with deposit request based on coat and condition unless the owner has mentioned a new client form that there's some clumping or knotting. And that's, again, it depends on how you charge, right? We teach the point system, and it's really hard, especially now with all these mixed breed dogs, to give a better, estimation, right? Because if I have 5 doodles, of varying different coat types and size types, et cetera, unless if you're really simplifying it down. But I agree. I think that there's so much more that we can do to simplify our businesses. And I think if this works for you, this is great. All right, guys. So I'm going to love you and leave you. And if you have any questions, post in the Savvy Pet Pro group. If you're in group mentoring, let's do a deep dive on Monday. If you're in my free group, you can also feel free. Like I said, this Monday coming up, we're going to be doing the virtual happy hour where we're going to be able to answer your questions live. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you another time.